Hey guys and gals, welcome on over. This is Amy Katz Colors, and if you're new here, I enjoy adult coloring. That is one of my main hobbies, but in today's video, I am going to be talking about a couple other things as well. So, a couple weeks ago, Karen at My Colorful Country Life, she's been a colorist and influencer on YouTube for a while now. So go check her out if you haven't already. She created a tag video called My Creative Hobbies Tag, 10 fun questions for colorists and crafters. And if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I love a good tag video. They're one of my favorite videos to both film, participate in, and watch here on YouTube. And if you haven't been following me for a while, what are you doing? Please like and subscribe, and consider checking the rest of my videos out in my collection. I have been creating videos on YouTube for almost a year now. It'll be a year in July. So anyhow, so this is an open tag. It's open to anyone who would like to participate, both by creating a video or by leaving comments. I would suggest you do that on Karen's channel. You could also leave me a comment if you'd like as well, though. This is a fun one. This is going to get into some of the other creative hobbies that we all have outside of coloring, which I have talked about a little bit in some of my other videos, but I'll talk about again. This will be another good one to get to know me a little bit better and some of the other creative aspects and hobbies that I have. So I'm just going to get into it. As you can see, I'm coming to you from inside of our vehicle. I'm making good usage of my time this evening once again by doing the bulk of the filming while waiting for my daughter. She is in her piano lessons for the week. So I thought, let me go ahead and get started, and then I can cut to some other footage where I will show you some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about, either some pictures or some additional video. So, okay. So the first question is, what was your very first creative hobby as an adult? And for me, the answer that comes to mind, in addition to coloring, because I've been coloring my whole life, really. So we could say coloring. But the other hobby that comes to mind that I was really big into, like the number one creative hobby that I was probably into when transitioning into adulthood, would be scrapbooking. And I have talked about scrapbooking a little bit on my channel. If you haven't seen the tour of my craft room and my craft supplies, you'll see that. Go check that out. But I have a lot of scrapbooking supplies, and really my craft area is kind of centered around that hobby of scrapbooking. I don't scrapbook as much right now. I have taken a creative break from it, which we are allowed to do. I think that's true for actually most of my hobbies, is that, they come in waves and they rotate. Coloring is one that I have always done, but some of my others come and go, right? So I have completed some scrapbooks, and I have some scrapbook whips that, I'm constantly working on, like my children's birthdays and their hobbies and their activities. There are some scrapbook ideas that for trips and things that I have not started and would like to complete, but I love scrapbooking. Sometimes I do get into a creative slump with scrapbooking, And I have every intention of going back to it. It's just not my season of life right now. I kind of stepped away from it as my children got a little bit older, to where I was spending more time, doing stuff with them and helping them at home. And so as I became busier, I spent less time scrapbooking, because I don't know, I guess it's just a personal preference at this point. I feel like I need to carve out more dedicated time and organization of my room to really deep dive into scrapbooking. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just a personal preference. But anyway, the second question is, what hobby did you fall in love with the most or lasted the longest before discovering adult coloring? Well, so I already mentioned that I've been coloring this whole time, so this one's a little difficult to answer from that aspect of it, but it's still scrapbooking. I did love scrapbooking. I still love scrapbooking, and that has lasted a long time. And I've kind of done it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. My whole adult life. All right, number 3, have any of your past hobbies helped develop your coloring style? Okay. Again, this one's a little tough to answer on the coloring, because I kind of have always been developing a coloring style, because I've always liked to color. But with the scrapbooking, I don't know if it's a style or a technique, but I use the stamping inks for scrapbooking, and I also do that in coloring. So that was something that I kind of already had. Same thing with the ink sprays. I use those in background on paper for scrapbooking, and I use it for coloring. So I'd say definitely yes. There's both supplies, I know that's another question, but also style. My love for art, actually, I would say contributes to helping to develop my style. Number 4, which of your past hobbies do you still enjoy today? All right, so if we're talking about creative hobbies, so there's scrapbooking. There's another creative hobby that I want to mention in this video, which is jewelry making. So that is something that I've done on and off. I've really lately been enjoying making the friendship bracelets, which was, of course, made extremely popular and relevant by Taylor Swift. But I have, been doing a lot of those like little kits that you can buy for the different holidays, and then to coincide with the different schools and teams that my kids, play sports, and my son plays baseball. But and so been making bracelets for that, all the holidays, of course. But the other thing that I dabbled into a little bit I started a couple years ago, but I haven't done it this year, is resin jewelry making. And I've taken a class in that, and I've also made some jewelry. I have some supplies at home. Those are my creative hobbies. And then I have a bunch of other hobbies that aren't necessarily creative per se, but there are other ways that I enjoy spending my time, and those include reading, playing video games. Specifically right now it's Dreamlight Valley, but I'm a Legend of Zelda fan and Final Fantasy fan. I love doing puzzles, so I'll do, I don't know, maybe half a dozen puzzles a year or something like that. It's not like a huge hobby, but I enjoy doing a puzzle from time to time. I do enjoy diamond painting, and I have quite a few pieces of those. I also, like Karen from My Colorful Country Life, mentioned that she started out cross stitching. I do enjoy cross stitching. I think my last project that I completed was in 2020 during the pandemic, and then I did a large piece a couple years before that. But like, again, it's not something, I may do it once a year, I may not. So it's something that I pick up from time to time. The other hobby for me, I love Legos, and I have a crazy amount of Lego sets that I own, and I'm kind of slowed down and backed off a little bit just because I'm running out of space to put them all, and I'm not exactly sure how I want to store and organize them. And just like, I have a bunch on display too, but those are my other hobbies. Okay, let's go to the next question though. Number 5 is, do you ever blend your hobbies together? For example, using scrapbooking supplies in your coloring, or combining dining, painting, and coloring. I thought this was interesting, and I liked Karen's answer for this one about, maybe using some of the diamond painting with coloring. I've never done that. So I mentioned the scrapbooking supplies. I definitely use those, and I'll try to pop up some of those here. So these are some of my other supplies that I had from scrapbooking that I sometimes also use for coloring. Not a ton, but a little. These are the Glimmer Mist from Tattered Angels. I don't know. There's stuff like this still exists. Something similar. It may not be this brand. And then the Stickles, of course. I've got washi tape that I use a little bit for coloring. And some of the markers and paint pens I had stencils before with the scrapbooking. So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of crossover. I have it's not that one, but my stamping inks and stamping pads I had as a part of scrapbooking too. I definitely use some scrapbooking supplies for my coloring. But I don't know. That's a good question. Do I blend stuff? I mean, painting, like watercolor and coloring, kind of go together. So that's my answer there. Number 6, are there any hobbies you've tried but didn't stick with? I mean, define stick with. I think there's definitely some things that I've done over the years. So I did take, kind of like Karen, I did take a cake decorating course, and I have enjoyed making a few cakes for my kids' birthdays. I've made some really cute ones, but I don't do nearly the amount of cake decorating, or not at that expertise level that some folks are. I dabble with that. I love to cook and bake, but I don't do it all the time. So I would say that I don't know what you would say for that. Like, it's a secondary hobby, something that I do from time to time. Dabble. I like the word dabble. Number 7, what hobby would you love to try in the future? So mostly, if there's something that I see or have heard of that I want to try, I do it. So I don't know that there's many out there that I can think of that I'm like, oh yeah, like I would love to try that. A few times, so I've taken quite a few classes, like creative arts classes, for things that I've wanted to try, like the resin jewelry and the paintings, and we did ornaments with the marble painting. Like, I've done all kinds of things, but the one that I hadn't yet done is the chunky knit. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I'll see if I can try to find a picture. You can do like chunky knit blankets, or like gnomes or pumpkins, and I never got around to taking one of those classes. So I'm somewhat interested. I think that's I've taken a stained glass one. So I guess my point being that typically if there's something that I think I want to try, I'll do it. I'll take, like, if I know about it and there's an opportunity. I'm actually getting ready to take a tea making class or workshop here in a couple days, and that's really cool. I'd never heard of that before. I did not have the opportunity to even look into that before, so I'm excited to do that one. Number 8. What do your hobbies mean to you personally? Are they relaxing, creative, nostalgic, or something else? I would say it's all of those things. It's, a creative outlet for sure. I definitely turn to my hobbies, like coloring, to relieve stress, to relax, to help with anxiety, for sure. They're a mental health. They help to improve your mental health. So, and some of my hobbies are nostalgic as well. I would say all those hobbies, like the coloring, the reading, I did all those things growing up as well. All right, we are down to number 9. Number 9, how have your hobbies helped you through different seasons of life? I don't know that I've ever thought of it in that way. I'd have to probably think about it some more, but my hobbies definitely adapt to where I'm at in my season of life. So, like, I think right now, the reason why I'm able to spend more time coloring and do YouTube, be creative on YouTube, is because my children, I have 2 teenagers, a boy and a girl. Boy is the oldest. He's 15. My daughter is 13. They have reached the point, both of them, where their preference is to spend time with their friends, and they have their hobbies and interests, and they also have their activities, at school and outside of school. So I have some time back, whereas I probably wouldn't have been my season before. I'm still very busy, so that's why I'm kind of like, the coloring kind of works because I can pick it up. I can do a very detailed page, or I could do a very simple page, or I could do a color by number. I will say that I do turn to color by number a lot when I am stressed, and I'm not feeling the creative juices flowing, because I can just put, color to paper, and I don't have to think too much about it. I don't have to come up with a color scheme or color palette or anything like that. So that one's been adaptive. I'm trying to think of some of the other seasons. Sometimes, like reading, I don't always read a ton. If it's not my season to read when I'm very busy. I didn't read very much. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't think like when I was in college, I didn't read a lot outside of what I had to do for school, just because I didn't have the time, if that makes sense. But, and I'm sure there's some other examples, but I haven't really reflected on it in that way. All right, so we're at the last question now, which is 10. Can you show or describe a favorite past project from another hobby? Absolutely. I'm going to share with you. I will cut away to either another short segment here, or a couple photographs of some of the jewelry and the scrapbooks here for number 10. Hey, so we are in my craft room, and I am going to share some of the scrapbook stuff that I've done. I have previously shown my first completed scrapbook on another video. I will try to link it in the description. This was to document my husband and I. We were dating at the time. This was our first trip it's really our first and only trip, I think. I've been as a child, but on a family trip, but this was our trip to Hawaii that we took when we were in college, and this was a really cool one. This is before scrapbooking got really big. Before you could buy scrapbooking supplies per se at like a Michael's or Hobby Lobby. That was when obviously I was still in college. But So some of the other things that I just wanted to mention, these are dailies. So something that at least was pretty big in the scrapbooking community, December dailies. And in a December daily, and this one's an October daily, the idea is that you document. I'm just sitting on the floor. Sorry, pardon my foot. You document kind of what you are doing each day. Just little mementos, little scraps, little journaling. I'm probably going to end up having to cover up some of this stuff. There's personal information or pictures. So I apologize. I didn't think through that in advance, but these are a lot of fun. And you can get really creative with them. Like with this, I forget what you call the little gadget that does this heat sealing, where you can add confetti and glitter into little pockets. Some of the kits came with numbers, so you're like counting down to Christmas. But this is fun. So this is a completely completed project, and this one was from, I always forget, I didn't put the date or anything out on the outside. Whatever year it's from, I don't remember. So it must be either it's probably 2017, because I see that my 2016 one is there. So this is a completed project, and I also did one in 2016. So December 2016. I like the cover of this one. Like these are window clings, or like window stickers. You got washi tape, ribbon, glitter, confetti, all kinds of things. This is one of my favorite types of scrapbooking to do. Like these are what we're watching on TV right now. Like what a cool thing to document, right, for that year. New ornaments that we had for the tree. This was our Christmas card. Just a lot of fun stuff, because we are pretty busy during the holidays. We do a lot of things, and it doesn't even have to be that you do something every day. It could be there's prompts for December dailies that you can look up. It might be like, what's your favorite Christmas movie, or Christmas memory, or things like tradition, stuff like that. It doesn't have to just be you're going somewhere every day. And then this one was really cool because I love Halloween. So this was October 2017. And again, just a lot of documentation of fun seasonal things that we did. Just kind of documenting even just kind of normal things that are going on in our lives at that point. A lot of usage of different scrapbook papers and ribbons and washi tape. So much fun. Okay, so this is like the special zombie frappuccino that had just come out at Starbucks. Just fun things. Field trips, all kinds of cool stuff. So proud of these. This is my most I guess exciting thing that I have in terms of scrapbooking. And then so like we have normal scrapbooks too. Some that I started. This is another one that I'm really proud of. I was just looking at it the other day and showing my daughter, because I don't think she had ever seen it, which was, this is a completed project, the only other completed one outside of the daily, December and October daily and the Hawaii trip. This one is chronicling, that's a word, right? This one is documenting my college years at Virginia Tech, and it is super cute. Now I will say I got some of these I came up with on my own, the layouts, but I also got a lot of inspiration from magazines, scrapbooking magazines, Also, like Pinterest had some scrapbooking layouts. I didn't get into the YouTube stuff until close to when I was actually done scrapbooking for a while. So some of it's from like Cricut, ideas from Cricut, but I really like, this is almost pretty much a flip through. I'm just not explaining it. I really love how this one turned out. Pretty happy with it. So my other ones are whips, because I've got my two over here that have the kids' birthdays, and I am not nowhere near close to catching up on documenting their birthdays. It has a couple from when they were really little, itty bitties. I have one that's documenting, I think, Halloween. Yeah, this one is, I don't mind this. This is when it's really little. These are all from Halloweens and Halloween parties. So that's what that one is. I have, oh, this one I don't think is done, but we went to, I totally forgot about this. So we've been to 2 official Star Wars conventions, and both times we went, and they're called Celebration, Star Wars Celebration. They still exist. And they have them kind of all over the world. They've had them also in California and also in Japan. These 2 were in Orlando, Florida, but I definitely started it. I don't think I got very far though. When was this? 2010. So I did a good amount. Oh man, this was cool. Yeah, so I didn't finish. Oh, we were just literally talking about this. Okay, I have to go show my husband. But we've got this of the Star Wars conventions not finished. Let me see. This one looks like it has a lot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this one is going to be my son's activities, sports and activities. So there's a lot of baseball. I did a good amount, but I'm not caught up. Oh man, yeah. And then his school. Yeah. So I'm not caught up on that. Definitely have a long way to go. And I have something similar for my daughter, because she does dance, she did Girl Scouts, piano, a bunch of different things. So I have one started for her. I know I have another little, do you guys remember when traveler's notebooks became a thing too in the scrapbooking community? I bought a couple of them, but I haven't done them. But they're kind of similar in concept to this, because it's like a little thing that you can use to chronicle, it is a word, your, like, what's going on, or to journal, something similar to that. So I think that's a lot. And then I have scrapbooks that my mom has made. So scrapbooking was also something that my mom enjoyed, something that my mother-in-law does a lot of too. So definitely, I have a lot of scrapbooking stuff. And you can see, here's my puzzles. Here's a few of the puzzles that I own are down here, but definitely not all of them. One of the other hobbies that I mentioned is jewelry making, and I've done a little bit of resin, but also beads, and I have a ton. Like, this is a big tote bag full of like these little kits that have the beads that I've ordered, just a variety in here. You got the different holidays and such, and Halloween. So that's been something that is a lot of fun, and this is quick and easy. Hello again, and now we are in my bedroom. Actually, I was going to share with you just a few of the things that I've made for jewelry. This is some of the resin work that I've done. See, it's got some earrings that I've made out of resin using molds. I've got like this type of pendant with glitter. This one's got some pressed flowers in them. It's really pretty. And I've done that both at home, at a friend's, and at a couple classes. So that's a lot of fun. And then friendship bracelets. This is just a few. I have a ton. So we had Christmas. These are from Easter. I think I did a New Year's in here. Just a variety of stuff. So they're quick and easy. And they are very soothing and satisfying to put together. I love doing friendship bracelets. And I love making them for people. And I love trading them. So much fun. So, and it's relatively inexpensive. You can spend a lot of money on beads, but you don't have to. You can definitely buy some cheaper beads. But I love doing this. Highly recommend. So thanks for joining me today for this video, and thanks again to Karen at My Colorful Country Life for sharing this video. I always appreciate the tag videos. I think they're a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, again, I think I said it earlier, I don't mean to push it, but if you wouldn't mind giving me a like and subscribing to the channel if you're not already, and go check out some of my other videos. I have created some tags myself and participated in quite a few. I just think they're really fun to like get to know people and a little bit more about their channels and their interests. And I've done one recently. I did one on halfway to Halloween, because I love Halloween. I also did one, I don't know that it got a lot of traction, but that's okay, because I still had fun doing it, which was on color by number. And that was a tag that I think I just came up with on my own about, color by number, like the collection, books, favorites, that sort of thing. And anyhow, I was really struggling this week. I think it's been almost 2 weeks since I have filmed the video. I really haven't felt like it. I haven't felt like filming. I haven't even really felt like watching many videos this week. Again, it's just, that's okay. Speaking of seasons of life, like, I needed a break. I needed to go do something else. I've been thinking about maybe, going to do a puzzle, or, maybe picking up diamond painting again or something like that. Just to take a break. With coloring, you can also, there's so many different things you could do, because like I said, there's all the different types of, detail that you can do. Very simple, very easy, or extremely complex and detailed pages, and there's just a huge variety of supplies that you could use, and that's different too. So that's the good thing about coloring, is you can switch it up a little bit if you're feeling like you might be needing a change of scenery, I guess, something like that. But anyhow, that's going to end this video here. Thanks for joining me so much, and I will hopefully see you soon for the end of May, because we're like almost at the end of May here for May completed videos. Okay, take care. Bye bye.